Administered by Humane Farm Animal Care, a nonprofit organization based in Herndon, Virginia, the Certified Humane Labeling Program is the brainchild of Adele Douglas, a former director of the Washington, D.C. branch of the American Humane Association.
Happy meat.
Yep. HFAC's mission is to improve the welfare of farm animals by providing viable, credible, duly monitored standards for humane food production. And it issues a stamp of approval that assures the public that it is purchasing products that meet those very rigorous standards. HFAC requires producers, among other things, to allow animals to engage in their natural behaviors, raise animals with sufficient space, shelter, and gentle handling to limit stress, make sure they have ample fresh water and a healthy diet without added antibiotics or hormones.
So what's wrong with all that?
Well, the slaughterhouse is what's wrong with all that. The Certified Humane label appears on meats, eggs, milk, and other dairy products. Producers adhere to standards set by HFAC's scientific committee made up of leaders in the fields of animal science and veterinary medicine, among others. Perhaps the most widely known name on that committee is that of Temple Grandin.
That's what real women need.
A professor of animal science at Colorado State University and a leader in the field of food animal welfare.
And an extremely snappy dresser.
Yeah. So, anyway, it goes on to describe what people have to do to get insured about that. And it ends with, if you're ready to make the switch to humane animal products, the Certified Humane label is quite easy to find here in the Sacramento region. So, yeah. And as Ellen said in her email to us, it basically ends up being a humongous ad for this new labeling program. Right. Just ridiculous.
Here's the thing. I'm not opposed to making life better for animals. I mean, that's the thing, is that people often say, hey, you're putting your ideology ahead of animals. Whine. No. I'm not putting my ideology ahead of animals. I'm not opposed to animals living in better conditions. What bothers me, though, is that, the basic condition of exploitation is present. So animals are still being raised for profit. They're still the property of someone else. They're still being slaughtered. And by not challenging that very relationship of property, of them being a commodity and being commodified and being slaughtered, by not challenging that relationship, we allow it to continue.
Of course.
And when the animal rights people get on board with this shit, it allows it to keep going on and on and on. So all we're doing at this point is working with industry to provide them with better ways of niche marketing a product that we think is ultimately, intrinsically, morally wrong.
Oh, speaking of which, here's a good paragraph that I should read. Furthermore, the ultimate goal is to use the power of the marketplace to set the bar higher for the treatment of all food animals. Now, food animals, that's just a category that shouldn't exist.
I agree.
Bridges points out that it can take a very long time to create change by lobbying for new government policies. On the other hand, by working with farmers and ranchers to develop a consumer market for high-quality humane goods and by creating a certification process with real muscle, HFAC has created a sound business reason for producers to comply with its high standards.
So, go ahead.
Producers recognize that consumers care about how food is produced, whether it's out of concern for animal welfare, food safety and nutritional content, protection of the environment, or the future of smaller farms and local foods.
So what it comes down to is that it's better business.
Exactly.
I mean, that's really what it's boiling down to, is that it's better business. And that's the thing. I honestly believe that this industry, the animal exploitation industries themselves, particularly the food industry, as long as it can maintain the basic relationship of owning animals as property and as commodities, it will continue to do whatever it has to do to maintain that relationship. It'll fight along the way, but ultimately it will make the changes it needs to make. And as long as it can commodify animals and hold them as property, that industry will continue to exist. Because that's the basic relationship that allows them to profit from having animals, right? What we need to do is challenge that very relationship itself. It is the core of what they are doing. Without the ability to make animals property, they can't profit from them. And I think a lot of this activism fails to recognize that.
Indeed.
So I think the industry will... Look, the agricultural industry... I used to study the agricultural industry in graduate school. I wrote a fucking master's thesis on it. The industry has changed incredibly in the last 50, 60 years. It has changed in response to globalization. It's changed in response to farms getting larger, to mechanization, to new technology. It is an extremely resilient, extremely adaptable industry. It will continue to adapt to do whatever it has to do to function within the marketplace. And if in animal production, even if we make all of these things illegal, physically, like put it in, not physically, if it's in the law, so it doesn't, it won't basically change the relationship that's taking place here.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that needs to change. The industry will adapt. It'll fight it, but it will adapt as long as it can. And as long as it can make animals property and commodities, it will continue to adapt to that because that's the ultimate relationship it needs to make money. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to challenge the fundamental aspect of that relationship. Veganism challenges that by saying, no, it is not okay to abuse animals even lightly. It is not okay under any circumstances to make animals your property. Like, vegans understand that, and we take that to heart. That's what we need to do. That's why promoting veganism is so important.
I agree.
Do you hear that noise?
No.
It's me stepping down from the soapbox.
Oh.
The whole show is a soapbox.
True, it's our show.
This is true.
Bob and Jenna.
And that's the voice of Vegan Freak Radio. Actually, can we just play the Meat Makes You Stupid theme? Because there's so many. I want to play two things. This. Shut up! Because I'm tired of this stuff.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
And you know what else I think it does? I think that this stuff also prevents consumers who would otherwise maybe give it up from giving it up.
Yep.
It strings them along. It's like their little. Well, I won't go.
I can eat meat because it's happy meat.
Happy meat.
Yeah.
The animal didn't suffer at all.
My foot's going numb.
Uh-oh.
I was sitting on my foot. Okay, I want to play Meat Makes You Stupid theme.
Happy meat.
Okay, we got a bunch of voicemails and my jingos and stuff, so let's do it.
All right.
Time once again for some vegan freak voicemail. Maybe we'll hear from a hot chick
or a choice nail.
Callers make us happy and help us keep our sanity, even if all they wanna do is fucking complain about the shitload of profanity.
Hi, Bob and Jenna. It's Drew here from South Africa, or Animal on the Forums. You said you wanted some people from all over the world to get in contact, so here we are, phoning from deepest, darkest Africa. I mentioned in an email I sent to you that I have the two of you to thank for my fiance making the step from vegetarian to vegan. So, that's a real great help to me personally, so thanks again. I want to say to any South Africans out there that are listening to the podcast, sign up to the forums and get in touch. A lot of people think it's really difficult being a vegan in South Africa, but it isn't. I've been a vegan for more than 18 years now. I really enjoy my food, and it's not that difficult. That there's a support structure in place now, tons of really, really cool people. So make that step, get in touch. Finally, a not so shameless plug, because it's for the animals. We've recently started an animal rights group in South Africa called Animal Rights Africa, and we're looking for animal rights activists from South Africa, or the rest of the world that really want to help to get in touch. We're really fighting a huge battle here against a lot of corrupt industries and people coming from all over the world to the hunting capital of the world, as South Africa is known, to come and kill our animals. So if there's anyone that really wants to help, get in touch. The website address is animalrightsafrica.org. So please, we're looking for help. We want to network with other animal rights activists and animal rights groups, so get in touch. Thanks again, Bob and Jenna, for all the great work you're doing, and we'll see you on the forums. Cheers.
Well, thank you very much, Drew. It's excellent to hear from you, hear from South Africa, and I really want to applaud what you're doing. I think it's great that you're trying to get a group together and doing the things that you think need to be done.
Yes, and doing it at the local level where it can really make a great impact.
I think it's really good to work at the local level, actually, because, at the local level, you know what's going on at that level, and you can fight power very effectively locally. So I think it's really important for groups and for people to recognize that and to use it, to use their talents and skills, and to start coming up with a genuine movement built of people, rather than one built of large professional organizations whose directors drive BMWs.